For today's review, we're taking a look at my Timex Command. This is the original model that came out. I've owned it for just over 2 years, really coming up on 2.5 years. And I just want to revisit it and let you guys know about an updated review, have my thoughts changed. So let's get right into it. For price, currently on Amazon, you can find it for around $75 before taxes, which is a much better price than when I purchased it 2 years ago. I bought it at around $100, so always a good thing when the watch gets cheaper. For dimensions across the main case, we get a diameter of right around 54 millimeters, and then a depth of just over 16. And then lug to lug, we're getting 56 millimeters lug to lug. For weight, the Command comes in at 75 grams or just over 2.5 ounces. Here it is on my 7.5 inch wrist. It is quite a wide, or I guess it takes up a lot of surface area on the wrist. For me, it's comfortable. It kind of looks like a dive computer almost. So, you know, for some people that might be very cool, some other people might be impractical. It's really a subjective opinion, but as far as the overall size, it's perfectly fine for me. For the main display, starting off right here at the top, you've got a 10-second animation, and then right next to that, you've got your calendar data, and then right underneath that is your main time. You've also got a quick shortcut to dual time, which you would access by this top button right here. So you can either quickly see it just by pressing it, or you can hold it for a few seconds and it will shift over to time 2. Now for me, time 1 and time 2 are the same, so there's no change there. Because, you know, to be honest, I don't ever really use that feature, but it's there and it's, you know, useful for those that need it. And speaking of pressing this button, on the right side of the case you have 3 buttons, and then on the other side you've got 2 buttons. And back to the main display, also on the bottom left corner you can see different statuses here, as well as the bottom portion right there. What that is it's just telling you if one of those functions is being operated. So right now you can see the chronometer, or chronograph, sorry, for a stopwatch. So I currently have that running, so you can see that that arrow is indicating that it is currently on. If I had the timer running, or my hydration alarm, or just the regular alarm on or set, then it would also have the same indication. And underneath here is letting you know if the vibration or combo tone is set. And then here, tone is just your beeps. So I do have my beeps on. Now going over the different modes which you would access through this mode button right here. Starting off, we've got stopwatch, timer, hydration alarm, your regular alarm 1, 2, 3, and then back to main time. We also have a backlight. We've got Timex's world famous Indiglow. There you can see it. Fantastic, not too bright, not too dim, just right. And I really wish they applied or incorporated Indiglow to all of their watches, because it really is that great of a backlight. The Command comes with an acrylic crystal, so it is going to be a scratch magnet. However, the protective cover or bezel around here does a very good job of protecting the crystal itself. And the good thing about acrylic is it's very easy to buff out those scratches, unlike mineral or sapphire crystals, so no complaints there. Here is the case back. Pretty standard for this type of caliber digital watch. I kind of do like the stamped design here. It gives it kind of like a industrial or maybe government issue look, and that's always kind of a cool thing. This case bag still provides 100 meters of water resistance, so it's going to survive pretty much anything that the average person is going to throw at it. For the band, we've got a silicone band here. The things I like about it are it's of very good quality, and also the keeper has that little piece right there, so it'll hook in to the notches on the band. So it's just a very smart design. Other things about it that I don't really like, and these are all objective, is I don't like the texture of silicone. It's too grippy. And you know, that might have been the point or the purpose, but for me, I prefer resin. I prefer something that'll like slide on the skin a little bit easier. So just keep in mind, if you're wearing it all day and it's a hot day, you know, your wrist is gonna get sweaty and it's just gonna stick to the skin. So what can I say about the Command? One thing I know for certain is a lot of people really like this watch. And I know this because even after 2.5 years, the original review that I did is one of my highest viewed videos. It always gets a lot of attention. And I can understand why. It's got that square frame, you know, it's a square digital watch, which really is just the coolest thing ever. And some things about it, you've got these screws right here on the lugs. You know, inside here, it's kind of like a steel diamond cut plating. Like, that's what it looks like, at least the appearance of it. I'll try and have a close up here so you can see. But little things like that really just give it a very cool military feeling style to it that is just irresistible. For me, what I really like about the Command is, first of all, you've got that big screen and very easy to read information. For Timex, I think they really beat the market when it comes to budget-friendly negative displays. Casio is hit and miss. They do have very good quality negative displays, but you also have to pay a premium for the really good ones. The standard ones that they have are just absolutely horrendous. For Timex, you can get a really good, clear negative display at a very budget-friendly price. Also, another design feature that they implemented that's very smart and intuitive is the fact that if you hit the backlight, so if you hit Indiglow and you press any button, the light is going to stay on. The watch will stay illuminated until you stop pressing buttons, which is so practical to me. One thing that always really frustrated me about other digital watches is you hit the backlight, you hit a button, and it cuts off the backlight, so you don't really know what's going on with your watch. So, you know, great design there. And if anything, that's probably one of the smartest things about this watch that makes it more practical for people in the operational field. Aside from that, my first review was overall pretty positive. I think my most critical thing that I mentioned was the price. I felt like $100 was a bit too much, and I felt like if they brought down that price, it really would have been a G-Shock killer. So now that the price is down to around $75, I think it's getting there. You know, of course, I don't think that the Command comes anywhere near the charisma and sex appeal of a Casio G-Shock, but if you can get it for $60 to $70, you know, this is a great watch. It does everything you need it to do, and it does so very well. If I had to come up with one negative thing to say, I would say my only complaint now is the location of the buttons, or how they designed it. It's very easy to push them accidentally with the back of your wrist, especially if you're doing any kind of like physical labor. So just keep that in mind, especially if you have the beep on. You're just going to be hearing like this constantly every time you are moving your wrist. So that's about all I gotta say. Do I think that it's a G-Shock killer? No, but I still think it's very cool. And if this is something that you've been eyeing and it really looks cool to you, then I say go get it. It's going to last you a long time. It's going to survive pretty much anything, and you get a pretty good value with it. So that's all I got to say. I hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure to tune in to my next episode. All right, bye.